What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure to like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it. One thing about it, I haven't did a video on Hakeem Jeffries in a while. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't did a video on Hakeem Jeffries. And let me tell y'all something. One thing about it, is that I truly wanted to show, and talk about how ignorant, individuals can be about, this whole situation with Venezuela and Nicolas Maduro. Says here, Hakeem Jeffries doesn't think Nicolas Maduro, indicted fugitive, that is obviously, or was doing, a lot, and obviously, a threat to the American people. Check out what this dude said, y'all.
Well, you just heard my conversation with Secretary Rubio. I asked him about the administration's decision not to inform Congress ahead of this operation until President Maduro had been captured. Secretary Rubio saying this was not the kind of mission where they could have afforded to notify Congress. There were concerns about leaks. He made that point. President Trump made that point. Was the administration justified in this case in not briefing Congress?
Well, there's been no evidence that the administration has presented to justify the actions that were taken in terms of there being an imminent threat to the health, the safety, the well-being, the national security of the American people.
Well,
I truly don't get that whatsoever on the way he's doing. Like, I truly don't. I don't know if it's because, them, being in their own delusion about it. I don't know what it is, but I'm just confused on, I guess I'm more so, I ain't even go as far as that, because I feel like they know what they're doing. They obviously know what they're doing. Speaking on the, the individuals on the left, I'm truly disappointed in individuals that support this and believe, in people like Hakeem Jeffries. That's what I'm more disappointed at, because they're not paying attention. They obviously see that, and the crazy thing is, I'm going to go as far as this. You always see when it comes down to, like the last video I posted, let's say, for instance, the Somalians doing what they're doing when it comes to these daycares. I don't know, when it comes to drugs, unaliving, individuals. I don't know, a lot that, that has to do with kids. I can't go, into deep. It's so many things, y'all. So many things, even, with illegal aliens, that is, we can go as far, we can go down the list with so many things, there's individuals that get on the internet, and feel bad that a lot of drugs, has did this to their family member or this, but then yet they support an individual like Hakeem Jeffries that think that it's no problem, and think that this shouldn't have happened. People like AOC that's speaking out on things like this. People like Mandani. It's so many other individuals, so many different individuals that are speaking on, these things that truly they don't care about Americans. They act like they do. They try to pull their race card, and y'all see those individuals, that I'm speaking about, that support these individuals. They see the color of their skin, and they like, oh, okay, I'm gonna listen to them. Just based, and I'm telling y'all, it's definitely sickening. People need to understand. More Hakeem Jeffries.
They have to start with the capture and indictment of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. You have called him a, quote, criminal and authoritarian dictator who has oppressed the people of Venezuela for years. Is Venezuela better off without Nicolas Maduro in power?
Well, he's a bad guy, of course, and he's going to stand trial in an American court of law at this particular point in time. It remains to be seen whether the people of Venezuela are going to be better off. Donald Trump claims that he's going to run Venezuela. He's done a terrible job running the United States of America. Life hasn't gotten better for the American people over the last year. Life has gotten worse. He promised to lower the high cost of living. Costs haven't gone down. They've gone up. The healthcare system is broken. Donald Trump refuses to do anything about it to address the Republican healthcare crisis. So the notion that he's going to run Venezuela and make life better for the Venezuelan people, of course, is belied by the facts as to what he's done as president here in the United States of America.
Well, they have to start.
I feel like I'm just highly confused. You know, when I listen to this, man, I feel like I'm just highly confused. Like, people literally support this. Like, you actually just actually think about this. Like, you actually support this. Says Counter Eagle Man says, bro, Trump just snatched a narco dictator, flew him to Brooklyn, and locked him up while gas is $2.80. Borders are closing, and you're crying. I think gas is even cheaper here in Indiana, Indianapolis. I'm not even gonna lie, but that's, you know, they find any and everything to complain about. Let me tell y'all something. Comparing the two, Biden administration, Trump administration, it's been what, a year, and President Trump has done more, not only more, but made things 10 times better than Biden ever has. I should definitely say. And I don't, again, see why people are still supporting the left. I truly don't. I'm telling y'all. Check out on, again, the individuals that I was speaking about, on how insane they think.
Would you trade Trump for Maduro?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I think Trump, I think Maduro was democratically elected.
Probably, yeah. Sure.
This goes to show you. I can tell y'all right now. The people that's going to be answering is saying, yeah, they would trade Trump for Maduro. I can tell y'all right now, they don't pay attention.
Sure.
More than likely, yes, of course.
If there's a Nicolas Maduro out here who's going to bring us to revolution, I will support that movement.
I would rather have a bus driver in charge than a billionaire, okay? Let's put it that way.
Not to go and say anything, you know, about any bus drivers. You never know, you know, how individual is. But I'm just saying, like, you literally have a president that is doing any and everything and did something huge for the American people. And that's his comment.
Nicolas Maduro could come and be our president?
Yeah.
Be our president?
Yeah.
Oh, any Nicolas Maduro could come and be our president.
He don't even know the dude's name. He said Maduro. Oh my, bro. This I'm telling y'all.
Oh, any day. Any day. Look, all the check marks are there. He's not white. Okay, he's a minority. Okay. He looks a little too much like Saddam Hussein, though.
Well, I'm going to say this. This is exactly why it's important for kids to stay not only away from drugs, but for us to educate our kids. And I say that for multiple reasons. I say that just because that individual don't even know how to pronounce his name, don't even know who he is. Probably seen a picture. The color of his skin. Usually that's probably why a lot of people, you know, kids are the future. These kids are our future. So definitely important. So let me get this straight. 9 months ago, Ukrainian flags. 8 months ago, Palestinian flags. 7 months ago, Mexican flags. 6 months ago, Iranian flags. Now, Venezuelan flags. And don't forget Somalian flags. What is happening? That's what I've been trying to figure it out. Like, I truly been trying to figure it out, y'all. Somebody said free him. Free Nicolas Maduro. I think I'm just lost for words, more so. This Tom Cotton says Nicolas Maduro is a illegitimate communist dictator. That is drug trafficker. Yes, and I truly don't see why people aren't understanding this. Check it out right here.
Well, who's not running Venezuela anymore is Nicolas Maduro, and that's a great
Some
thing,
audio went
and
out,
it's a
y'all.
great day for America and for the people of Venezuela and really the civilized world. Nicolas Maduro was a indicted drug trafficker in U.S. courts. He was an illegitimate communist dictator. His drugs had killed hundreds of Arkansans, thousands of Americans, and he was in league with anti-American countries around the world like Cuba and Iran or Islamic terrorists. It's a good thing that he's in a jail now in New York City. The president said that when the president said the United States is going to be running Venezuela, it means that the new leaders of Venezuela need to meet our demands. Our demands are now what they were before yesterday, that we want them to stop the drug trafficking, we want them to stop the weapons trafficking,
Exactly.
We want them to expel the Cubans and the Iranians and the Islamic radicals, and we want them to return to the civilized world and be a good neighbor that contributes to stability, order, and prosperity in our own backyard.
But then again, people don't pay attention to things like this and actually listen. So many people are understanding, the importance, and the seriousness of what did happen, and what's happening. People need to pay attention. They definitely do. Check it out here, Marco Rubio.
Is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
There's not a war. I mean, we are at war against drug trafficking organizations. It's not a war against Venezuela. We are enforcing American laws with regards to oil sanctions. We have sanctioned entities. We go to court. We get a warrant. We seize those boats with oil, and that will continue. We would continue to reserve the right to take strikes against drug boats that are bringing drugs towards the United States that are being operated by transnational criminal organizations, including the Cartel de los Sols. Of course, the leader of that cartel, is now in U.S. custody and facing U.S. justice in the Southern District of New York, and that's Nicolas Maduro. So we made a big progress in that regard.
Is the United States...
I just wish people actually paid attention. People actually paid attention and, again, seen the seriousness of it. I'm telling y'all. Definitely sickening. Definitely sickening. I don't know. I feel like it just has me thinking, about a lot. I know I mentioned, and I said, these kids, their future, they're our future, and, they're the future. And just seeing and hearing, these adults, hearing these adults, say these things, and they would trade President Trump for somebody that it literally goes to show you. And I can't really say that I'm surprised. I mean, they voted Mondani in. It's just very sickening. It's very sickening. I truly don't understand it. It just leaves you lost for words sometimes. Check it
Nothing
out.
but net positive. We even had local press reporting that some people that were refugees coming to the United States from Venezuela are now making arrangements to head back home. So, although you won't hear it on left-wing outlets, of which I was debating this last night on one of them, I can tell you it's been a very, very net positive. And you're actually seeing also, too, in places like Miami, there's actually been demonstrations in support of this. And so I think a lot of Venezuelan Americans are happy because they know that, back home is going to be safe now.
That's definitely lit. And you know who is disgusted by this? And it truly, again, just makes me feel some type of way, and that's why I really, couldn't even say anything, in the last video, because it's just like, you have these Venezuelans, I've seen somebody had actually made a comment in my comments on my yesterday's video and said that, pretty sure he said that their son, if I'm saying this wrong, I apologize, because I'm sure this individual watches my videos all the time. I try to respond to him. I try to respond to all y'all all the time. I'm trying. I'm telling y'all. I don't care how big this channel gets. I truly do not care. I am going to try to make time for everybody and try to respond. No, I'm not perfect. I know y'all probably won't, get a response all the time, but I try to make it to everybody, especially when the video first drops. But it said their son, either son, daughter, had an individual, a friend that, can finally go back to Venezuela. And they've been living, in the States. But and now can finally go back home. And it just goes to show you that it's Venezuelans, that were here, they're happy, they're definitely happy to, go back home, and like this post said, Trump takes down, a dictator, and migrants self-deport, and want to, go back home. And I just feel like that's something that's definitely pretty lit, to do. It's definitely pretty lit to do, and I feel like people aren't looking at, they're not looking at the big picture. They're not looking at the big picture of it. Only individuals that are disgusted with it, are individuals, from the left, and I truly just I'm not getting that right now. I'm truly not getting that. There are people, Americans, U.S. citizens that are here, and they don't, support what President Trump did. But again, there's literally Venezuelans here that are literally headed back home and are happy because of what President Trump did. It's definitely sickening. I tell y'all, definitely sickening. Check it out. P. Heck said.
Well, I referred also to the Iranians and their nuclear capabilities. The president said they will never get a nuclear bomb. The Iranians didn't believe it. He acted. He said the same thing about Maduro. He acted. He said the same thing with the Houthis. He acted. Southern border acted. We're going to do something about drugs. He's acting. We're acting with striking drug boats. This is a president of action. And you don't get peace in this dangerous world without strength. So there's been a lot of politicians that want to talk. They want to talk peace. They want to talk diplomacy. They want to talk negotiations. They want to talk globalism, international organizations. President Trump speaks through action. And so our allies understand that, and they're stepping up, spending more. Our adversaries understand that. So all around the world should take notice. American leadership is back. When he says something matters, it does. And we will take the necessary action with the full weight of the Department of War.
And I'm not going to say this to make anybody mad, go against President Trump, because y'all know how I feel about President Trump. Y'all know how I feel about, the Trump administration on the great job they have been doing. But just like they took action on this, definitely take action on what's going on in California, as well as Minnesota, as well as, other things that's going on. And I can't, say that, to rush, because I know for a fact that President Trump has a lot going on and is dealing with a lot, and definitely got a big win. But to take action on that stuff too. And that's one thing that I love about President Trump is the simple fact that, it's that saying, actions speak louder than words. And he's definitely taking action. There's more definitely that I know that myself and you all want, Trump administration to take, action on. But take one step at a time, one day at a time, y'all. That's all we can do. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to every single last one of y'all. Catch y'all next one.